21st Sunday in Ordinary Time Reflection. Physically fit in the world and spiritually fit in the Word. My dear friends, last Sunday the Lord said, I have come to set fire, not to give you peace, rather to disturb you. And it spoke about the second reading, about a marathon, a race. And Jesus, looking at Jesus, you have to run the race. And today, the Lord is saying that you should you should strive to enter through the narrow door. And you have to strive for that. Of course, the background, Septuagint of the Gospel, he was heading towards Jerusalem for the Passion. And once someone asked, Lord, will those who saved be few? Of course, this was a question that time. Jews thought only they were saved, and Pharisees thought only they were saved. And even today, some people think that only that church would be saved. But the Catholic Church never say that we only Catholics would be saved. Second Vatican Council, it is clearly said there are rays of truth in the other religions also. So the Lord is saying, strive to enter through narrow door. Now this is, of course, you cannot wait idling, wait without doing anything, open your mouth and just wait until the salvation comes. No. Of course, not by deeds but by faith. We are saved. But then we have a part to play. Simply because we have a free will, my dear friends. Since we have a free will, we have a choice. Jesus or Barabbas. You have a choice, fire or water, life or death. It's always with a choice. So then we have to strive. Strive to enter through the narrow door. So striving does not mean, it means the Lord is asking you to strive, because for many, I tell you, will seek to enter and will not be able. Now they seek to enter, but then they are not be able to enter. So you can enter. It's not a fact that you cannot enter. That's exactly in 1 Corinthians chapter 10 verse 13. Together he won't give us a trial where we cannot face. Together with the trial, he will give us strength. So that's always there. So it is a marathon. It is a fight. Of course, in Exodus 14:14, you be still, I'm going to fight for you, the Lord is saying. In Psalm 46 verse 10, be still and know that I am your Lord. But then this being still does not mean that you wait passively. No, it's a word terminology where you put your armor and you are ready for the fight till you get the command. So you have a part to play. And if you want to enter through the narrow door, my dear friends, if you want to enter through the narrow door, many would tell you, I tell you, will seek to enter and will not be able to. Of course, they are in search, they come to church, listen to the word, but then they don't follow. Like the seeds fall on the road and they don't follow it. My dear friends, that is the challenging part. That is the challenging part. So that's exactly when it is said in the book of James chapter 1 verse 22, don't be deceivers of the word. When you listen to the word and you don't follow it, it means you look into the mirror and you just don't comb your hair, just you go leave. Something like that. In James chapter 4 verse 17 it is said, faith without action is dead, isn't it? If you really believe, there should be action. You should execute it. And 1 John chapter 4 verse 20 it is said, if you tell that you love God and don't love your neighbor, you're a liar. Because if you can't love, how can you love your neighbor who is seen, who is visible, and love God who is invisible? It's a dichotomy, it's a contradiction. So definitely you have to enter. That's exactly why in Matthew chapter 7 verse 21 it is said, those who build house on the foundation. Those who do the will of the Father. And it's important that you execute it. Enter through the narrow door, my dear friends. So exactly, this is our calling. This should be our calling. Unless we enter, of course, entering through the narrow door would be difficult. So if it is difficult, then there is no other way. You have to practice. That's exactly what the book of Hebrews says. So it's a race. Looking at Jesus, you go. And the Lord has to train you. Have you forgotten the exhortation that addresses you as sons? My son, do not regard lightly the discipline of the Lord, formation. Nor be weary when reproved by him. Of course, reproved means a scold or correct gently with kindly intention. And chastise every son who he receives. Chastises means punishment or beating, which means correction. So the Lord has to correct you, form you, mold you. You should not be disheartened. God is testing you as sons. For what son is there whom his father does not discipline? You read Isaiah 48 verse 10. You are tested by gold, like gold in fire. You read Sirach chapter 2 verse 5. The same thing. The Lord is, I will punish you. Punishment not in the sense of very negative way. Punishment is formation. The Lord is, because I love you, that I have to punish you, form you, train you, mold you. So then, that's how you are going to enter through the narrow door. But then we have expectation. The first reading, book of Isaiah, of course this is Trito Isaiah, the third part of Isaiah, final chapter. The Lord is saying, I will gather all the people. This happens after the punishment. Exile in Babylon for 30, 70 years. Now, He's restoring. Of course, it happens with the coming of the Lord. This is happen. All the people will be gathered back, gathered again. It happens in Pentecost with the early Christian community. But then we have that expectation. For that expectation, we have to enter through the narrow door. There is no other way. So the word says, on that day, I do not know when once the master of the house is risen and shut the door, and he will shut it. There is a number. Once the door is shut, you can't. Then you begin to stand outside and knock at the door. If you can remember Revelation chapter 3 verse 20, he's knocking at your door. If you don't open. Holman Hunt in his picture draws the same picture, Jesus at the doorway and not having a lock outside, because the heart of the door can be opened from inside only with your free will. And now he will shut the door. Your days are numbered. Then you cannot do anything. Then they will say, we have eaten with you, we have eaten and drink with you, and we have heard your teaching in the roadway. The Lord is, I don't know you. Of course, he had heard the teaching, but they have not followed the teaching. That's how. You see the narrow door, but then broad way is more attractive. That's exactly what the devil wants in your life. So you choose the broad way, not the narrow way. Finally, it's important to know, what is this door? What is this way? The Lord is saying in John chapter 14 verse 6, I am the way. And John chapter 10 verse 7, he's saying, I am the gate for the sheep. It's Jesus. You choose Jesus, selling everything, foregoing everything, sacrificing everything. For that, you have to have that passion for Him. My dear friends, there's no other way. When you choose Him, the world will despise you, the world will corner you, you have to pay a price for that. But in choosing Jesus, having Jesus, and losing everything, it does not matter. So that's how you have to be trained with that word. Physically fit in the world, spiritually fit in the word. Amen. May God bless you.